Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Christopher Motts with Empowerment in the 210. This is my lovely co-host, Miss Genevieve Sims.
Hi guys, we're so excited to have you back for our second episode of Empowerment in the 210. Well, this episode is brought to you by Infinite Productions from our man Q. Without him, this would have been possible.
Yes, shout out to Q. And we have a very special guest on the show today. He's one of my dear friends. We go back about 10 years. We have Mr. MikeAnthony Torres.
No.
MikeAnthony.
MikeAnthony.
Yeah.
He said Michael.
I said Mike. We have a dear friend as our second guest on the show, MikeAnthony Torres.
All right.
We're
I am so excited. Empowerment in the 210. And you know what? You said over or about 10 years?
We're 10
Has
years.
it been
man.
already 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years.
It's
10
crazy
years of friendship.
how time flies.
Yep.
But I'm honored to be part of the podcast. Congratulations on it. I'm excited to see what you guys do with it, and it's amazing. And also shout out to Q because this is a beautiful setup. So
Yeah.
yes.
Shout out to Infinite Productions.
Yes,
Q,
high quality work right
high
here.
quality work all the way. So, man, you're like a staple in this city, in the 210. Like when I think about San Antonio, I think of certain individuals. You're one of the individuals that I think of as far as the impact that you have in our city. You're the owner of 417 Solutions, All Access Promotions Entertainment. You have all these wonderful brunch pizza festivals, the Brunch Festival. We'll talk about some of these here shortly, but you're doing all these community events. So if our listeners never heard of your name, tell our listeners who MikeAnthony Torres is.
You know, I appreciate everything that you just said, and I love it because I feel that all the footwork, all the networking, all the hard grind and hustling, you know, in the beginning stages that I've done, and it couldn't be without the support, like with friends and family and loved ones and the community all together. And San Antonio has treated me very well. I had a friend recently ask me, would you move from San Antonio? I'm like, no reason to move from San Antonio. I mean, San Antonio provides me with everything I have. And, you know, I would say for someone that doesn't know who I am, which is fine. I mean, we live in a big, small city, so everybody kind of knows everybody in a certain degree, but there's also, you know, a huge market that people don't know, which is perfectly fine with me.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, I'm approachable. So I love, if you do know me or you've seen me, I would love to, you know, meet you and shake hands and get to know you. And I'm easygoing. And if anything, I like to help. I'm a big advocate of just trying to help people. Mm-hmm. You know, I hardly say no. So that's probably my downfall. But, you know, when people reach out to me, it's just like, hey, let me help you out. And by all means, if I can't help you, then I try some way, somehow with one of the resources or connections I have to be able to make it possible. So for someone that doesn't know me, I would just say, just know that I'm a big helper. I'm someone that loves to help and see other people win and succeed.
And that's absolutely the vibe that I got off of you. The first time that I met him, I didn't know too much about you. I knew of the things that you did, but I don't know who you were personally. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the things that I enjoyed was that we had such a great conversation because we very much think alike. We don't. Mm-hmm. It's very hard to say no to people because we know the resources and the talents that we have that we can use to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's just having a servant's heart.
It is. It really is. I feel my personality is very straight. And cut to the point. Mm-hmm. So when I have people calling me and they want to tell me a whole story, but they know they just need one thing, I try to tell them as politely as possible. Just tell me what you need.
Right.
Like, what is it that you're trying to ask? Well, I wanted to know if you could donate, for example, the party bus. And I'm like, yes. Like, just ask me that. Yeah. Like, don't give me a whole story about it. Like, and it's not that I don't want to hear the story. Mm-hmm. It's just that we are all on a time,
Absolutely.
You know, we have to manage our time wisely.
Mm-hmm.
So conversations have to be sometimes limited to like 15 minutes to 20 minutes so that you could get into the next one. It's very rare that I talk to someone for hours, but then if I do talk to you for hours, it's not a bad thing. It's just I guess that relationship is just something to the point to where you can actually hold those conversations. But I'm a big giver, just a big giver, and I get that from my mama. She passed away in 2015. God bless her soul. She always had this saying, "Sharing is caring," and no matter if it was something as small as if you had $1 and someone needed $1, you give that $1 to that person.
Absolutely.
If my siblings, if we have a Snickers bar and that the Snickers bars was the only thing that we had to eat, you cut it in pieces, you let them eat first before you eat. So that has always been dear to me. So sharing is caring, helping other people is based on how I was raised from my mother. So,
and I think those characteristics need to be brought back.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in our society, especially with our kids that are growing up, it's always about me. What can you do for me?
Yeah.
Instead of what can I do for you?
For others, yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree. So life is really good right now. It's
Life is
beautiful. We're
blessed.
talking about festivals. We're talking about you getting your own energy drink. We're talking
Yeah.
about a new venture you're about to take upon.
Yes.
But it didn't used to be this way.
No.
And you have a very inspiring story that I can relate to in my life. Not many people know this, but you're one of the reasons why I chose a sober path. And we share that journey together now.
Sure do. I'm proud of you.
Why don't we go back? Well, I'm super proud of you, and you're still an inspiration to me. Let's go back, though. Let's go back 10 years ago. Let's go back to those days.
To Hollywood.
Let's go back to Hollywood. And let's talk about those days, that life, where you decided to change your life, where some people call it that rock bottom moment, and how it transformed you into the man you are sitting here with us on this podcast today.
You have to hit that rock bottom. You have to fail. And I believe that in life, to succeed, you have to hit some L's. And it's just part of life. You just have to fail forward. So living that fast lifestyle as a promoter, and that's what I call myself, a promoter here in San Antonio, helping a lot of the nightclubs and bars from years ago, and drinking and drugs and women and living that lifestyle, it could catch up to you really quickly. The money's there, the drugs are there, the women are there, the after parties, everything, and then you're just living that lifestyle for a while to where it hits you, and you make some stupid decisions, and you continuously making dumb decisions. But even before the promoting days, I'm very transparent and bold, and I think that's the reason why a lot of people can relate or just respect me in a way, or even just see me for who I am, because I don't sugarcoat anything, and I'm able to speak what I've gone through, which some people can be afraid because they don't want other people to judge them.
Right.
And before I get into my story, remember the movie 8 Mile?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Eminem, right?
Classic.
So when that movie came out, I remember watching it, and my favorite scene in that movie is the very end of it, where he's going against Papa Doc. And before he went up against him, do you remember what his friend told him before he went up on stage? And I hope you all watched this movie just to see this clip. He tells Eminem, "Hey, aren't you afraid what he's gonna say about you? That so and so slept with your girl, and so beat you up, so and so." So in that clip, you notice Eminem's like, "Wow, he is gonna say all this." So what happens in that freestyle battle is, what did Eminem do when he first went? He said everything
That he thought he was going to say.
that he thought he was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm a piece of white trash. Yes, yes. So therefore, the other person couldn't say anything. So that was such a huge part of my life, because I told myself, after I got in trouble with the law, and mind you, I've been in trouble with the law 8 different times in my 20s, 2 felonies, should be in prison, and I'm not, thank God. But after I experienced all that, I remember that scene, and I said, I'm going to live my life like that. So I started sharing about it. I started talking about it, so that therefore, Chris or you, someone could say, hey, MikeAnthony went to jail. He had this. He could have been in prison. You already know it, because you'd be like, oh, well, he talks about it freely. So that therefore no one can say anything about me. so you can't hurt me. So, and that was what I got from there. So getting in trouble at an early age, with my first felony in my early 20s, then a second felony, that led up to that lifestyle as a promoter because of the alcohol, the drugs. And my mom passing away in 2015, that was the best and worst year. The best year because of the fact that I knew life was going to move forward, and I knew that I still had a chance to overcome things. The worst year because I was financially broke, negative $584 and some cents.
You still carry the receipt around?
I do carry the receipt around as a reminder. And I was in a toxic relationship that I was getting out of. I was mentally depressed. I was suicidal. I was putting up a front of being happy when I wasn't. And then, you know, you lose everything and you're just like, you can't lose anymore. You just, you know, it's just going to be just, everything is going to be facing forward and you're just going to have to face it. And I remember taking a small little break from social media. It was June 6th of 2015 to September 6th. I told myself I'm going to give myself 90 days to disappear from social media, disappear from pretty much everything, and refocus and get myself together again. And I was about to cuss. I didn't want to cuss on y'all's podcast. So I'm trying to hold back. But I remember just being able to mentally challenging myself to say, hey, you know what, you got to just do better. And it's hard. Anyone that's ever been in trouble with the law, any kind of thing that you have on your record, and if it's even a felony, it's hard to get a job. It really is. Right. In black and white, that's all they go based on. Right. You know, you look at me and people stereotype still this day, and they'll be like, oh, this guy probably comes from money. This guy probably has it really well off. Like, no, like almost in prison. Like, it's just not the right, you know, not the right path for me. And the mindset is just, it really messes with your head when you get rejected over and over and over again. And in 2015, after my mom passed away, I knew that I had to change my life. And I still didn't even learn from then. It wasn't until 2016 was the last time, because I tried to become sober. So we share that, you know, together, our sobriety. And I tried to become sober the first time around, and I failed. Because my best friend, I love you, John. It was his birthday.
Shout out to John Vale.
Shout out to John. He's one of my best friends and someone that I admire. He's the one who actually got me into the promoting game, and that's another story. But it was his birthday, and it was, let's take one shot, just one shot, just one shot. It's just one shot. You've heard that before. Yep. One shot. I think you were there, maybe.
I can't remember that.
I know, right?
I think I had several shots.
More than one shot.
No, but yeah, you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
starts,
so, and I'm thinking to myself, it's just one shot.
Yeah.
So one shot, and then you know what happens after that. So then I broke that sobriety for however how long I was on. And mind you, I didn't quit drinking because I wanted to. I had no choice. And I always tell people that I could have gone to prison. So it was, you go to prison or you clean up your act. So I remember the last time I went to jail, I was drinking maybe 12 hours throughout the whole day. Wow. Like, we drank all day long. And I was with John. And John was going home. And then me and a couple other friends, we went to another bar. And I should have had just gone home, like John said. But I was stubborn, I guess, or just in the mood or in that moment to where I wanted to continue. And what happened was,
you were lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce. And one thing led to another, and then I get pulled over, and it was so crazy because they didn't pull me over because I was swerving or anything like that. They pulled me over because there was a warrant for me for a different case. So, and I was just like, wow. I got pulled over, sees I was drinking, you can smell the alcohol, and go to jail. And then I remember in that moment, I made a phone call to someone that used to be in my life, and I called this person. Person's answers, and I say, hey, and there was a pause, and then this person says, your mom would not be proud of you. And those are the first words that they said to me, and it just really hit me. It was an aha moment. And I remember I was like, man, you got to just clean up your act. You really do. And so the next day I challenged myself to, only a few selected people knew about it, that me going into jail. And I went the next day to the bar and prayed to God and asked him to let me go into the bar and not buy any shots, not buy any drinks. Let me just go in there, just do my thing and challenge myself mentally, because I need to, because of the fact that I'm a promoter and I help out with the clubs and the bars and lounges. I'm around alcohol all the time and drugs. So took that chance, and I remember it was probably one of the longest nights ever. And back then people used to call me Hollywood. So because of the fact that I would go in and buy everyone shots. So everyone gave me a nickname of Hollywood. And so I went in there, and of course everyone's asking me for shots or asking me if I want to drink, and I was just like, no. 11:30 comes around, I'm just like, wow. 1 o'clock comes around, 1:45, and then I see people leaving the bar, and I still was there. And then by like 2 something, I leave the bar. I say one more prayer when I get home. I thank God, woke up, and never ever had the desire for alcohol or drugs or anything like that. And I would say, I think that was a sign from my mom. My mom passing away, I really believe that was her way of telling me, mijo, you need to slow down. So she would always tell me, she was just like, it's hard for me to talk about my mom.
Let me interrupt you right there, man. That's touching, man. But as a friend that has seen your journey through the years and has witnessed everything you've done and everything you've given back, man, you have a huge heart, very kind heart. And I can tell you, first and foremost, looking at you right now, your mom is smiling down on you right now. She's super, super proud of the man you've become. And those are true words. And I know she's up there smiling, man.
I appreciate that. It's to this day, it's so hard to bring her up.
Yeah.
Like, man, I don't like crying.
No.
I'm one person that, not a very emotional person, but when it comes to her, just, losing her, I really believe that was her telling me just to slow down. And I did. I was able to slow down. So that was a good moment. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Shout out to Trey, our producer.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Trey. And I am just in the moment in my life to where everything is a blessing. Understanding life more. Understanding life is short. We are on borrowed time. And you got to count your blessings every single second, because nothing's guaranteed, besides taxes and death, which we all know that. And, it's just it's amazing to share, but I'm not one person that likes really talking about myself in a way, because it's just, I learned that from John. Yeah. So we have people that come in and out of our lives. And I remember being in my early 20s, I wanted to be like certain people because they were flashy, and nothing wrong with people being flashy. Okay. I'm not talking smack or anything like that. But I remember just being that young and wanting to have the luxury stuff and the fancy stuff and the flashy stuff. And then I have a best friend that is probably well off more than the whole city in San Antonio that humbled me at a young age. And he's a plain polo shirt, jeans, chucks, and a ball cap. But he has the most money. And I apologize, John, for saying that, because I know he doesn't like people knowing that. But I just learned something. I'll give you a quick story. I like sharing this. So he used to own a couple of clubs here in town, right? And we were out partying, and we had to wait in line. And I said, why do we have to wait in line, John? He goes, I was like, why don't you just tell them that you own a club? He's like, nah, it's okay. Just wait in line. I was like, bro, you can tell them that you own this club, and they're going to let you in. Right. He's like, it's okay. So we go in, and he's well known. And so people already know who he is. But people that didn't know him, I was that friend that said, hey, Chris, this is John. He owns this and this. Genevieve, this is John. He owns this. Hey, Trey, this is John. He owns this. Hey, Q, this is John. He owns this. Finally, we get to the bar, and we're ordering our shots and drinks. And he tells me, he goes, hey, if someone doesn't know me, don't say I own anything. It's okay. Just say, this is John. Don't say that I own anything. And that was another aha moment, because I was so used to people flaunting what they had. Flaunting the titles, flaunting the cars, flaunting the watches, flaunting the name brand. And again, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But I realized, wow. And now you see me, same outfit all the time. Chris calls me, bro, you
Funny
could come.
story.
He's like, bro, you could wear whatever you want. I was like, Chris, I'm already going to wear whatever I want.
I shouldn't even ask, because you and I, we share a passionate love for Ross, TJ Maxx, and Marshalls.
That's my favorite spots too.
A lot of people knock those stores, but shout out to all three.
Yes,
we love them. They're dear to our hearts. We shop on them often, all the time, actually. And that's where you get the majority of your clothes. And I love that about you. You are absolutely real as they come. And speaking about your mom, you honor her today. Tell us about the nonprofit you created to honor your late mother.
Yes. So my mom passed away at a young age of 48 years young. She was on 23 prescription pills, and she had an illness called lupus. So she passed away in her sleep, and after that first year of her passing, I usually would celebrate her with my birthdays. So every year I would tell her, Mom, get dressed, you can go with me with the clubs. And she'd come with me to the clubs, and she would go out and see me party and drink, and then she'd go home, and she's like, you're so crazy. And the last time I celebrated with her before she passed away was at a bar called Leaky Barrel. So shout out to the guys that is no longer in business, but shout out to the guys, my friends that used to own it, because they treated her so kindly. They did. They treated her so kindly. And so when she passed away, I wanted to celebrate with her, but I didn't want to celebrate at the club or bar. I wanted something to honor her. And so I decided to put together the Purple Diamond Lupus Foundation and in honor of her. And it was a beautiful first 5K walk and run in her honor. And it's something that I want to relaunch, because we put a pause on it because of COVID.
Yeah.
So it's still there in the back burner. A lot of the lupus community still reach out to me, and some of them weren't ready to come back because of 2020. So 2021, we're still having, kind of like a mixed review of everything still going on with that illness or that virus. And a lot of them were just like, well, we don't feel comfortable going out yet. We don't, which I understand and respect. And then, so this year we've been working on putting something together for next year.
Are we getting breaking news on the Empowerment in the 210 podcast?
Yeah,
Are we getting that breaking news? Are we the first to hear?
Yes.
Is it being relaunched?
So it's going to be relaunched for next year.
2024?
2024, yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yes. and the thing that has to do with that, I just listen to the community. I listen to what they say.
Yes.
So the Lupus Foundation is based on the people.
Yeah.
And we were able to do that. It was just a great way to celebrate my mom, but then also put it into perspective to where we want the people to be involved. So we're a nonprofit, but we don't have the 501c3 yet. Could I go write a check for the 501c3? Absolutely. But my intentions with it was to do fundraisers to raise the money as a community. And I've been very transparent about that. So the lupus community has been very open to it. They love the idea that we're doing it all together. And that it's not just me just writing a check to just go get it. Because I could if I wanted to, but I asked them in the very beginning stages. I said, we could do this way or we could do this way. And everyone's just like, no, let's do it together as a team. Wow. So, and it brings something for them to look forward to. And it's just amazing. So that's in the works. Purple Diamond Lupus Foundation came about. Purple is my mom's favorite color. So seeing the purple in the background is pretty neat.
Yeah.
She's here with us right
Very
now.
Yes.
fitting.
So I always believe in signs. Like
Yeah.
I always see signs from her. So purple was her favorite color, so we did that. Diamond is her birthstone. She was born in April 17th, which is the reason why I named my marketing agency 417 Solutions.
Wow.
And lupus is what she had, of course. So purple diamond lupus foundation, and that's how the name came
Powerful.
about. Mm-hmm.
Powerful. Love it.
I love that. Well, we're looking forward to that event, and of course, we're going to support you and help promote you in any way that we can. This is it's just amazing when you hear about how nonprofits came to be or how they evolved to what they are, because the meaning is so much more and deeper.
Yeah.
And that's what connects our community, because they're looking for those type of people that they can connect with, that have the same story that they can relate to.
Yeah.
So thank you for putting that together, because I
Yes.
know we need that in the city.
It is, it's nice to do something like that. I have a bittersweet story to share on that Lupus Foundation. So there's and this is not me knocking the bigger organization.
Mm-hmm.
There is a chapter here in town that represents for lupus, and they actually reached out to me the first year, and I was so excited because I took a picture of the office. I was so excited about that meeting. They reached out to me, and because they saw the response of the first year of the 5K walk and run, and I was in there open-minded, thinking like, man, they're gonna help me put this together.
Yeah.
And in that meeting, it was bittersweet because they wanted me to not do the Purple Diamond Lupus Foundation and just focus on their lupus foundation. And I said, you're bigger. I said, you're doing
Right.
South Texas.
Yeah.
I said, you can't just help us smaller people, just,
Sure.
be the people that walk in the community.
Right.
Because when you have such a huge nonprofit organization,
Yeah.
you kind of overpass
Right.
the small communities, which happens, because you're so big.
Yeah.
So, and that was never my envision, was to be a big nonprofit. My envision for the Purple Diamond Lupus Foundation was just for the community of San Antonio,
Right.
and nothing larger.
Yeah.
And so, and I asked them, I said,
What?
would y'all please be part of it, anyway, anyhow? And they said no. So I was like,
Here's the thing. And I'm sure you guys have heard the story about Blockbuster and Netflix.
yeah.
Yeah, about Blockbuster, how they
Yeah.
reached out to Netflix and they, tried to say, hey, just come join us. And they said, no, we're
Right.
not doing that.
Right.
And look at it now. So I'm excited to see what you're going to do with that nonprofit coming up.
Yeah, hopefully, everything, it's all in timing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and if it's meant to be, it'll be, it's all in God's hands.
That's wisdom. So if you were speaking to young Hollywood, MikeAnthony Torres, what would you, what advice would you give him?
To Hollywood?
Hollywood, if you saw him out right now, where you are now,
Slow down.
slow down.
Slow down,
Yeah.
because Hollywood was too much. Slow down. Life is too short. Save your money, reinvest, spend time with family. Shout out to Melinda, because she's taught me so much about family within the years, and keep your close friends close, and support your friends. Like, actually support your
Right.
friends.
You do.
Don't like. I feel that San Antonio, for some reason, sometimes you have strangers support you more than actual friends and
absolutely.
family.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take much to like a post, to share a post, to comment on a post, to mention someone's business. It's not that hard.
Right.
But
Yeah.
for some reason, and it could be different markets, but obviously we're in San Antonio, and I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying that if you have a friend that has a business, support them. Like, absolutely support them. Anyway, anyhow, you don't have to attend every single event. You don't have to be there at everything. But liking, commenting, sharing, spreading the word, that's priceless.
Yeah.
It really is. So my big thing that I would tell a younger is just continue to a younger Hollywood or someone that's in that path, just slow down, save to invest, fail forward, spend time with your family, because time is short, and stay humble too as well.
That's a big one.
You got to be humble. I teach this to clients the triple B's: be consistent, be intentional, and be humble. And I really believe in that. You have to be consistent. I believe that the growth that I've been able to achieve, which is not much, other people may see the accomplishments as a success. Me, we're always going to be our worst critics. We're always going to be wanting more and more and more for ourselves. And I was in a meeting earlier today with a new partner, David, and he had reached out to me for one of the festivals, and that was a last-minute festival. And he reached out because he said, dude, you are just amazing at what you're doing, and I want to partner up with you, and I want you to be my partner on this project and this project and this project.
How amazing is that?
And I got emotional earlier this morning, and again, I'm not an emotional person, and I did because you work hard for moments like that. To someone that can believe in you and help you get to that next level. And sometimes I catch myself not wanting help, and I need to just allow people to help me back, because I've done so much for others, but sometimes I'm just, stubborn in my own little head. Like, no, I don't want help. But then it's amazing to see those opportunities come about, because there's a lot of new opportunities that just recently that I haven't publicly shared yet, that I am going to share, that just came to my lap, and I'm just excited about them.
I love it. It's a time to reap all that you've sown. And that's what you've done, is you've sown so much into the community that now your reputation precedes you. So people are seeking you out, and that's great job on that. That's amazing. The things that you have accomplished in the 210 and the things you're still continuing to do is such an inspiration to both Chris and I, and of course everybody here that's listening is going to be inspired by this story, inspired by you, and now following you. So we encourage you to like his post, follow his page. So tell them where they can find you on social media.
I would say official MikeAnthony.Torres on Instagram and Facebook. Those are the only two platforms that I am on in. And then, of course, when you see that, you'll see on the bio all the festivals and businesses and stuff like that.
Speaking of festivals, let's tell our listeners about the pizza festival coming up.
Yeah, so we have the first ever San Antonio Pizza Festival on October 13th. It's going to be 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. At Alamo Biscuit Company, and we're blocking out the whole entire parking lot. And we have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I'm a fan of.
Huge.
So hopefully I get a picture first before everybody else.
Yes.
But that was the thing, is that when I put this together, I was researching and trying to find the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from the 90s, y'all. Not Michael Bay's version, the 90s, like the classic.
Yeah.
And was able to, shout out to Anthony, a friend of mine, was able to connect to me to the guy that actually does it for a living. And it was just hit, and they said yes. So excited about that. We have a lot of pizza vendors participating. Some of them right now that I can name on top of my head, and I apologize if I can't remember everyone. But I will say this, that I haven't shared this publicly yet, but Domino's is actually one of our yeah, it's a big one. So Domino's is actually one of our vendors.
That's huge.
It is huge. Then you have Urban Bricks, you have Matanga's, you have
shout out to Matanga's.
Matanga's is delicious. You have Royal Pizza, you have Izzy's, you have Total Carbs Creations LLC, you have Capo's Pizzeria, you have Sophia's Pizzeria. You have, oh my gosh, I hope I don't go blank, which I am.
But they got to come check out the festival. Yes, they got to come out and support the event.
Yes.
They just got to come out. Yeah.
All ages. Kids under 12 are in for free, one per adult. And there's a VIP lounge area for 21 and over. And there's 3 different levels of tickets. There's a comp ticket, so the complimentary tickets are based on giveaways. Yeah. So you guys will get a few tickets so that you could give away to your listeners and to your followers, okay?
Cool.
Then you have a general admission ticket, and you have a VIP ticket. And, of course, the VIPs, you get a lot of perks. So I would say I would encourage you all, if you love pizza, like myself, because I eat pizza every Sunday.
Let me interrupt you. So this guy, he eats pizza every single Sunday, he'll have his pizza of choice, his whole pizza, and then his ice cream. To go along. It never fails. Every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
And I'm a pizza carnivore, but this guy takes the cake. And so it's fitting that you actually have Pizza Fest.
So a quick story. Every festival that I've put together, it goes based on what I eat. So the San Antonio Brunch Festival, I love to brunch, and I've brunched all the time. And I was probably one of the first people in the city to put small brunch events together throughout different restaurants. And then I decided, hey, let's do the San Antonio Brunch Festival. And we did it. Then fast forward, I eat pizza, like you said, every Sunday. So I was like, you know what, let's do a pizza festival. I was surprised that San Antonio, I call San Antonio Sleepy San Antonio. We're slow on almost everything. We're behind on music, fashion, festivals, concerts. We're just slow. We're a big market, 1.5 million people.
City.
So it's just so crazy how we are so slow behind on certain things. So I put it in perspective. Dallas is already on their 7th or 8th annual pizza festival.
Wow.
And we're just barely just hitting number 1.
Wow.
See, look how you're changing our city.
Yeah.
So, look at that.
So when you're mentioning pizza and ice cream, I love my sweets. I have to have 1 sweet per day. Just have to have 1 sweet per day.
Did you already have one today?
So I haven't had it. I usually have it at midnight. I usually, and it doesn't have to be anything like an ice cream. It could be just something sweet. It could be a peanut butter jelly sandwich. It could be a bowl of cereal. I just have to have some type of sweet sugar in me. And I decided to put that festival together for next year. So I haven't announced this at all either. We locked in the date, which is going to be February 17th. It's going to be with Taryn at Elsewhere. And we are going to do the first San Antonio Sweets and Sugar Festival. Wow. So think of Willy Wonka and think of Candyland. I don't know how old you are, but Candyland, the board game, and Willy Wonka combining together. That is going to be the San Antonio Sweets and Sugar Festival.
Look at that.
Oh, we are there for that
one.
Just for you guys.
Yes, just for you all. I haven't even announced it yet publicly yet.
You guys are getting the breaking news from the man himself.
Yes, and then we have, I'll give you another breaking news for next year. John and I, my best friend, finally going to do business together. We've never really done business together besides me promoting his bars back in the day, but actually become partners. And again, this is not publicly announced at all. We're going to be launching Taste of the Medical Center. So you know how there's Taste of the North Side and everything like that? So we are now going to be having Taste of the Medical Center. And it's going to be April 17th, which is my mom's birthday.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's the day before the official Fiesta kickoff.
Awesome.
So it's going to be a Fiesta event, and it's unofficial at this moment. You have to have 3 years under your belt. So, and that's our goal, is to have 3 years, and it will be official. It will be. So we have that coming up. And then after the day after the pizza festival is the San Antonio Hemp and Reggae Festival. So that's going to be a lot of fun too as well. And that's with my partner, David. So all these things are just coming all in place at this moment. And I'm glad to share them because we're going to be making those announcements. And I think the last announcement I could share with you guys that I haven't shared yet is partnering up with Haunted Oaks. So myself and Manny, Rick, and Matt are all now partners together for the Haunted Oaks, which you experienced it last year.
Yeah.
So it's at the Rolling Oaks Mall. It's something very similar to like a 13th floor, if I can compare it to something. But we just made we just locked in the deal. So now I'm partners over there. So yeah.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
And thank you for supporting that mall. That was my very first job.
Really?
And I didn't want to go under. So you're supporting it. Yeah, heartfelt. I worked at the movie theaters there. It's no longer there.
Oh, wow.
When I was 15
So
years
hopefully
old.
we can make some.
Let's keep it going.
Yeah, keep it going. You
Yeah.
know, it's sad to see certain places, that are in the city that close. You know, and it has to do with the city, the San Antonio. And let me right now tell you all again, just shout outs to every single buddy in the city, from my team to my family, close friends, to loved ones. But the city itself, you don't understand how much I appreciate and love San Antonio. The media, food bloggers, influencers, podcasters, news stations, magazines. It is a blessing. I pinch myself every day thinking to myself, how did this happen? But to know for example, the festivals, I didn't have to reach out to anyone. They came to me. Can we do a story? Can we do this? This Friday, we're going to be on SA Live. We're going to be on Keith Scott's radio station too. It's just amazing to see the people of San Antonio just show love and support. And I'm honored. And I thank you. Like, you don't understand. Like, I would never leave San Antonio to move to another city. I appreciate San Antonio. I'm going to work hard every year to provide something new, especially for these festivals that could be very, ongoing. It really is. I'll tell you another story that a huge pizza company, I'm not going to name the name because I don't want to do that, but I'll tell you in private. But a huge pizza company offered to pay for the pizza festival. They offered me hundreds of thousands of dollars for the pizza festival, which made me smile. I kindly declined, but it made me smile because it showed me that I was on the right path.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
You're onto something good. And in keeping it in San Antonio, which is great.
And that's why Genevieve and I created this podcast for stories like that.
Yeah, the big
Support the
picture
city.
on it. Have y'all watched the Redeemed Dream Team with Kobe Bryant?
I have not.
No, watch it. It's a good one. Or watch The Last Dance of Michael Jordan.
That one's classic.
So I religiously I'm a pattern type of person. So I have patterns routines that I just can't get out of. Not really a big TV person, but when I can't sleep, I put The Founder with Michael Keaton.
Oh,
If you haven't watched The Founder, watch that.
That's a great one.
I watch that repeatedly, or I put The Last Dance, or I put the one with Kobe Bryant. And even though I've seen it hundreds and hundreds of times, I always get something out of it. And so when I started putting the festivals together, I was thinking bigger. I was thinking, okay, which cities have it, which cities don't have it. Then I started thinking bigger than the cities. So my goal, and I hope I can accomplish this, and if I can't, then at least I'll give it a shot. But my goal, when I was watching the Redeem team, I was seeing how the USA team was struggling to achieve the gold, right? And Kobe Bryant came in and actually helped them. But what I noticed is that they were practicing every single year to accomplish that goal. And it takes 4 years, every Olympics. And I was thinking to myself, man, that'd be cool to have a Texas pizza festival, a Texas brunch festival happening every 4 years. You invite the big markets to where they pick 3 or 4 of their, popular based on the people brunch. And then we have one big Texas showdown. So that is in the works too, where every 4 years we'll have the first Texas brunch festival. We'll launch it in Dallas first because I believe Dallas will be a smarter market to do it first. And nothing to knock San Antonio, but just Dallas got it going. And then we'll launch the first Texas Pizza Festival, maybe in Austin. And then after that, it'll be every 4 years.
Wow.
Genevieve and I will come ready to eat.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Absolutely.
So that's the big picture. But you just have to, one of the things is that, this is what I tell people, is that you just have to go for it. If you have a dream, if you have an ideal, just do it. Don't just hold it back. Don't think like, what if it doesn't work? You're going to learn from it. As long as you try it at least once, you will learn and you will perfect yourself and have people that are willing to give you that constructive criticism, that are able to tell you, hey, this is what you should, or not should, but this is suggestions of what could do better for this event or this project. Be open-minded to it. Surround yourself with people that are like you, but surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. Don't be the smartest person in the group. Learn from others. Ask questions. Ask tons of questions. Yeah. A lot of my best friends right now, close friends, they'll tell you, like, he asks too many damn questions. But it's because I'm learning from them, and they didn't realize that. Yeah. And that's what you have to do, is just connect with people, and don't be afraid to say no, but then also don't be afraid to say yes. Yeah. Don't be afraid of just helping others. And if someone achieves something faster than you, clap. Yeah. If someone is, then that's what I think a lot of people are afraid of. When they help someone and they see someone maybe, blossom faster, it's okay. Just clap for them. Right. Cheer them on. Like be supportive in one another, and give ideas to each other. Even if you don't get recognized, I share so many ideas to everyone that I feel like I'd be like, give me 10% of that.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
but I don't mind it because I want to see people win.
Yeah.
Like with you guys, your podcast, I want to see you win in this. Your PPSA, I want to see you win in that. Like I just want to see winners because it sucks to lose. I've lost so much in my life, and I don't want to lose. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to be suicidal. I don't want to be that. I want to be happy, and I want to live a healthy life.
Yeah.
And I want to help.
And that's all a decision. It's a decision to do that, right? I wish you guys were in the studio because you are just blowing me away. I love being around people like you. It just comes out so naturally because you've lived it. And, just going back on that, you don't like to lose because you know what it feels like to lose. And so that's kind of a part of the inspiring part of you that brings the best out in people because you don't want them to lose. You know what it feels like to lose somebody. You know what it feels like to hurt. And so if you can give them the opportunity and spark something, just one person, just give them that inspiration, then you know that you fulfilled your purpose. And I love that because you're doing that not just through your events, but just by talking. When you walk into a room, it's like, oh, man. It's like, I wonder what's going to come out of your mouth today.
I think the same thing.
And before we sign off, give our listeners one final time where they can follow you, where they can.
Yes. On Facebook and Instagram, official MikeAnthony.Torres. And then All Access Promotions Entertainment. So that's the mothership of everything, like the umbrella of all of it. So All Access MA right across for Facebook and Instagram. And then you'll see the festivals, concerts. You'll see party buses, limos, and even our own podcast too as well. So you'll see all of that. I would say our upcoming concert is James Kennedy from the Vanderpump Rules. That's my next show that I'm investing into. Cool. So that'll be November 11th. So hopefully you all can join and have some fun with us.
Hey, and also tell them about one of my favorite events of the year. We didn't even talk about this. Blessed Surprising Neighborhood.
Yes, Surprising Neighborhood. I actually thought about that when we were talking earlier. Yeah. So every year we pick a random neighborhood. And this is truly one very random. Yeah. And the day of random. Yeah. And Chris has been part of it since day one. So I appreciate your support as always, man.
We love you started it, and we love to support it. It's amazing.
So my first year doing it, I think this is the 8th year. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
So my first year, I wanted to do something to give back because my mom passed away, and I was financially broke, to be honest with you. But I wanted to do this. I had this. You remember? It's the movie with Denzel Washington. He's American Gangster. So he's handing turkeys on the streets
in the city. Yeah.
So I said I want to do that. I want to just but I want to do it to where I'm not letting people know. I just want to surprise them. Yeah. So I had that same concept. So the first year I announced it, got a huge response, and everyone donated. So we were able to do a small select family.
Oh, wow.
Or families. And it was a blessing because the people helped. Yeah. Right? And I was financially broke, so I couldn't do it. I couldn't even pay for one. And so, but it was amazing to see the people help. Yeah. The second year, I was like, okay, we're going to do it bigger. No one helped. Like, it was no one really gave anything back, donated nothing. And I was just like, wow. But God placed me in a position to where I could do it. And I was able to do it. And then in the third year, it was just like full circle again. Everyone pitching in, helping. And every year is just, we've done 10 more. So 7 was 70. So 8, our goal is to do 80 families. Wow. So, and Chris has been there, like knocking on doors. Him and his mom, I love his mom, Sue. Shout out to Sue. Yes. She does an amazing job praying and just the energy. They help, and even Jeanette was out there. Melinda, my family, friends. It's always certain people that are part of it, and then we have new people that always join. So it's just been amazing to see the community come together. But it's priceless to knock on a door, let them know we're just giving back, and the tears, the hugs, the stories that we hear.
One of my favorite things to do in all year, and you can help. You can help with that Surprising Neighborhood.
Yes.
Taking donations, turkeys, pies, dressings, bags, anything you can help out. We'll take it to them. be a part of it. Come out.
Even
and join
volunteer,
Come
Yeah,
out. Be a part
volunteer
of it.
your
It's coming
time.
up. Holiday season is fast approaching. So, man, it's been an absolute pleasure having you, brother. And we love all the things you continue to do in our city. And we learned a lot today, and we're very grateful for having you on our second episode.
Yes.
Thank you. Second episode. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do. And I'm looking forward to seeing the growth and that, the day that you have your 2-0 episode.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. And for everybody that's listening, make sure to subscribe. We're going to be announcing our next person soon. So make sure to stay tuned for that.
And shout out to Q, Infinite Productions, Trey on the producing side. We love you. We're thankful for you. We're signing off. Thank you guys for tuning in.
We'll see you next time.